Hey everybody, this is John for MTG Nexus, doing a little bit of historic content. Been wanting to test a Grixis deck for a while. This is a deck that went 8-2 in the historic challenge event. That was basically the kind of big ticket event that historic had before it went away from the ranked queues for now. Couple months ago, so this deck could be complete, total, utter wash right now. But it's Grixis stuff based around the cards Mastermind's Acquisition and Fires of Invention. Mastermind's Acquisition allows you to find obviously multiple copies of whatever card you want, the cost of being 4 mana. A little bit less worse when you're playing Fires of Invention. Very similar to Fey of Wishes sideboards with Fires of Invention in play. Beyond that, you're a Grixis mid-range list with things like Nicol, Bolas, Kefnet, and Nicol, Bolas, Dragon God. Then you're using things like Enter the God-Eternals, Rituals of Soot, Eye of Carnarium to keep the aggro decks under control. And then using things like Thought Erasure, Bedevil, Murderous Rider to keep the control decks and mid-range decks in check long enough for your Fires of Invention engine to kind of get rolling. And then search for Azcanta, kind of the powerful card that you can be using along with Castle Vantress to filter your draws. And I thought this deck looked like a blast to play, even if it's not particularly good. Run it through a traditional historic event. And then the sideboard is a complete wish sideboard. You have Mass Manipulation, Plant-Wide Celebration, Star of Extinction. I feel like there might be a few too many of these very powerful late game effects that require you to hit 6 lands. But something to keep in mind. And it's possible that this mana base needs updated with the temples. But we'll figure that if we actually like the deck and then go back and play it again. Thought Distortion, obviously pretty brutal against control decks. Liana, very good in some spots. Time Wipe. A lot of powerful one-ofs here. Some stuff you can board in certain matchups. With your Mastermind's package, you can board in like Cast Down, Moment of Craving, Vraska's Contempt against aggressive decks, board in some of your other cards against the various mid-range and control decks in the format, but it's kind of Grixis, so we'll see if it actually holds up under good pressure or against whatever our opponent happens to be doing. Let's get into some matches. Back for match number 1. Be on the draw, which is a bit unfortunate here. I think we keep this hand. Hopefully we don't get run over before we can cast Ritual of Soot here. Took a mulligan. Except they're a little bit on the slow side as well. Looks like, okay. Interesting. Search for Azcanta, Lottie. Yeah, no, it's not a great card, trust me. I'm aware. Blue-black stuff. Not sure. Don't think we really... It's against blue-black slow stuff. Let's bring in a... copy of Vraska's Contempt. Here we go down. A singular copy of Cry of the Carnarium. Based on what? I don't even know. So, why would they concede that early? Not sure we can draw a ton of information from that. Our opponent didn't even see our third color, so guess they're presuming we're Esper, which I guess in the end doesn't make a ton of difference. Both decks kind of do similar things. I think we'll go ahead and keep this hand a little bit awkward with a lack of lands, but I was like, wait, what? Okay. Didn't show anything too special here. Oh, I get to Remorseless. Sure. I'll take Thought Erasure. Yep. Mire Triton. Draw 2 cards that are library in your graveyard. Hey, there's a land. Cool. Okay. Oh. So they did correctly identify that we are a whatchamacallit deck, Fires of Invention. Let's go ahead and kill that. The board as clear as possible. I want to bring back Croxa. What do I pitch? Nicol Bolas Dragon God, I suppose. Alright. I know they have a land in hand, so nice. Get rid of that permanently. So interesting. Do I have in my sideboard that I could wish for here? Just play out this guy. Requires 3 others to escape. Well, that's kind of brutal. Wow. You just have it all. Castle to really drive the point home. Not even acquisition here for. Can they bring Croxa back next turn? Seems kind of unlikely. Could bring Phoenix back though. Let's play that Celebration. Can't really cast that one. Ugin's fine, but not necessarily in this particular situation. Guess I was just supposed to actually grab Chandra. Awakened Inferno is the best one. Best part of waking up is Chandra in your cup. Okay. So, don't think they can bring this back this turn. Fire Triton. Okay. That was actually very dumb on my part. Because that means the Phoenix now gets to kill this for free. Alright. That was actually very, very, very dumb. Alright, I mean... Definitely don't want to mill them. Okay. This is a 4/4. Yep. Sure. These are just like black-red stuff. Acquisitions are in the yard, so pass turn. Alright, can't beat that. So now we have a better-ish idea of what our opponent's doing. So... Mass Manipulation feels like a bit of a gamble with this deck. Probably bring in the Elder Spell. Distortion's interesting. Liana's fine-ish. Probably want just to bring in these. Probably can go down. Well, Crya's fine in certain spots. Ritual's fine in certain spots. Tyrant Scorn's kind of nonsense. Feels like there's too many cards in our sideboard that are more for specifically the wish board. It feels like we need some more genuine actual cards. This hand's fine. Not like exciting, but Search for Azcanta can keep us in this. Hopefully they don't have duress. They do not. They do unfortunately have Farika's Affliction in their deck, so that is something to note. Alright, let's do this, cast that. You can kind of take whatever you want. I don't particularly care. Yep. Okay, sure. Pass turn. Feel like this might be a Cruxa turn. Okay. Sure. Library, do this. I just want to grab a Fires of Invention here and just play whatever we draw. Do you have a third discard spell? Kindling Phoenix, sure. Alright. Sure, Cruxa, they can't quite bring back this turn. Sure. So currently 4 cards in our graveyard. We can potentially bring back Phoenix of Ash. Ritual of Soot. Alright. Sure. Interesting. So we're dead-ish, sort of. Yeah, opponent knows their last card in hand is Bedevil, so that was kind of dumb. Alrighty, that's the game, unfortunately. Alright, on to the next match. Alright, back for the second match here with Grixis Mastermind's Acquisition. So we keep this hand, we don't have a ton of early interaction anyway, so... Alright, Soul Warden deck, sure. Go. Its toughness is equal to... So, Cry the Carnarium. Yep. Sure. Sure. And opponent scoops. Okay. So bring in Moment of Craving, Cast Down, and Contempt. Cards that could exit. Copy of Thought Erasure. Feels like this deck is heavily anti-aggro slanted. Just a couple copies of that. Alright, cannot keep the one-lander. Cannot keep this one-lander. Can keep this hand, Fetching Acquisition and Steam Vents, I guess. Sure. Kill that one just cause. Sure. Nope. Yep. Sure. Good. Sure. I'm walking to 5, easily annihilate the aggro deck, question mark. Sure. This game is pretty well over. Yep. Alright, so what do we own outside the game that could make things fun? That could be fun. Just grab Ugin. Just grab Ugin and blue. Alright. Alright, I can definitely see what decks these were built to beat up on, so be back for the next match. Back for the next match with Acquisition. Hand seems fine. Especially on the play. What you got over there, friend? Alright, so that could definitely be a temple very easily. Okay. Exploration deck. Interesting. Nah, good stuffs. Nikki B, are you with me? Okay. We'll have to probably Banishing Light this. They like their last card in hand, whatever it is. Sure. They discard a land. Box. Alright. Interesting. Not quite sure what they have going on over there, but it's interesting. Banishing Light, this, that, and the other thing. I think we just present the same 60. Awesome hand, but lacking on lands. Awesome hand, except it's very, very slow. Keep, put back. Not really sure. This is an interesting one. Really would like a land. Okay, sir. Let's get a card out of them while I can. It's just like an eclectic mix of happy to make that trade. Okay, Ceratops is mildly annoying. Killing Phoenix could end up being a challenge. Yeah, it's just too much stuff too quickly. Yeah, Ritual of Soot doesn't do it, so... Alright. Some type of pseudo... Go down... One Fires of Invention... Mastermind acquisition? I feel like we have a ton of time for that kind of nonsense. One lander, got a mulligan. No lander? Okay. I mean... keep, I guess? Rid of that, that... that. Hope this 4-laner gets there. Leave that on top. Go ahead. Taking a hit for 6, I'm liking it. Guess we Bolas them here. Ketra. Alright. Protection from blue. So opponent's got things and stuff here. Taking 5 regardless. Probably taking 8. So I think I just passed turn. Need to top deck next turn, kill the Ceratops. Yep. So we're just randomly dead to Ceratops. Alright. Randomly just dead to Drifting Ceratops. Alright. Couple lessons to be learned there, really. I think the deck is sweet. But I think the deck's just too clunky. Like, I like some of what the deck's doing. It doesn't feel like we have enough interaction on the lower end. Yeah, it just feels like we have too much on the sideboard that's like wish targets and too much clunk. Maybe we can cut a Kefnet and again throw the God-Eternals for some earlier interaction. Maybe like another Murderous Rider. Even some, whatchamacallits, Bone Crusher Giants. Just feels like we're a little too high on the curve sometimes. And how many lands are in this deck? 26 lands. And probably need to tidy up the land base with some new temples from the new set. But this list was a lot of fun. I can definitely see the power of Mastermind's Acquisition and Fires. This being copies 5 through 8 of Fires, even if it is a bit slow. But definitely a bit of a weakness there to Ceratops. And we do have Bedevils and Murderous Riders and Contempts. But it does feel like we're a little bit vulnerable to that card. But definitely kind of like the core of what this deck is doing. I do think it does need some tweaking. And we will revisit this in some future events. This has been John for MTG Nexus.